So I'm sitting here in my ostomy corner where I always go through my whole bag change ritual. Got my cabinet here that has all of my supplies in it, all the different accessories and bags and anything else that I might need. Try to keep everything right in one place so I'm not having to constantly be moving around on the middle of a bag change. But my reason for being here is that today I have been trying out Coloplast's new Sensura Mio bag. And I've only had it on for a day, so I can't talk as much to the longevity, and this isn't a review of the product because I don't really have all the information, but I thought I'd at least share some of my initial thoughts and some of the cool features that I found that it has had just in the past day. And so here, you can see it here. Looks fairly typical. But as you can see, this is a one-piece bag, which I don't actually usually wear a one-piece. I tend to have issues with them, and I have leaked in the past when I use one-piece pouches. I actually use the Flex, which is a two-piece, but it doesn't have the snap. It actually just sticks together. But they do not currently have those out yet in this Sensura Mio, so I thought I'd try out the one-piece just to give it a go. So you can see it here. Here is another Coloplast one-piece, the previous type. So you can see it's about the same size here, maybe a little bit smaller, and it is a little more rectangular shape, while this has a bit more of an oval shape. Of course, you can tell that it is a completely different color rather than being a little more flesh tone. This one is more gray colored. It's also a completely different fabric. The old ones are a little softer. This one has a little more of a kind of fabric feel. I'm not even exactly sure how to describe it. And honestly, I wasn't really sure about the covering at first because I thought it was a little bit of a weird material and I just wasn't sure exactly how it would feel. But after having it on for even just a day, I am definitely a fan of it so far. It's really soft, it feels good against the skin. But my absolute favorite part is when I got in the shower this morning, it is really water resistant. A lot of the water just kind of like beat it up and like fell off of it. It didn't soak in like it usually does. And even afterwards it was a little bit wet, but as I was just going around and getting ready in the morning, by the time I went to actually dry it off like I usually have to with my hair dryer, it was already dry. And I didn't have to worry about any kind of like water spots on my pants or anything like that being uncomfortable. So I was really impressed with the fabric of it and how well it handles the water. So I will definitely be interested to see how it acts for things like being in the pool for an extended period of time or even taking a bath where you're sitting down in it. But I think that that's going to be a really good change in having that different resistancy here. Some of the other things that I like, it's got a little like peekaboo pocket here where you can look in if you want to check out how your stoma is looking. You can see how the bag is sticking if you're having any kind of issues in there. It's also nice if you're having any kind of like pains or something like that and want to just be able to keep an eye on it. I know for some people it may sound really weird to want to look in the bag, but if you have an ostomy, you understand that it is important to kind of keep an eye on things. Which is another thing that you'll see once you open it the entire way. It is a clear bag down here, and rather than the other ones, which are the flesh tone that you can't see through. And like I said, some may think that that's kind of gross, but it's actually really nice when you're having to kind of keep an eye on what you're eating. For example, last night I started having like little just like bits and pieces of things that weren't digesting, which gets a little worrisome because that's the kind of thing that can cause a blockage. And to top it off, I had no idea what it was from. So I was just sort of keeping an eye on it, and I could see a little bit through the bag down here, and I realized that it was actually bacon from a BLT sandwich that I had had earlier in the day. And I'd never had an issue with bacon before, but it just made me realize that if I'm eating more than a piece or two like I normally do, so having something more on something like a BLT sandwich, that I have to be a little careful of eating it and making sure that it gets extra chewed. So it is good to kind of be able to keep an eye on things and know exactly what is coming out and what's going on in there. Another one of my favorite features of this is, you can tack it up like normal, just to keep it like closed up so that tail's not hanging out, and it's got a little piece of Velcro for that. But there also is an extra piece of Velcro up here where you can stick it to and make it even smaller and a little more compact if you have something that it might not be as comfortable. I found this to be a really great option this morning when I went for my run, because I have had issues in the past where even with it folded up, that when I'm running, this corner right here would dig into my leg, and I've actually gotten like fairly substantial scratches from it there on my leg that would hurt. And so being able to hold it up like that was a great way to do it. I know that you may not be able to keep it like this all day, just because as it fills up it may cause issues. I did not try that today, but I might try it in the future just to see how it holds up once the bag starts filling up itself. But it's great for things like that if you need to kind of keep it out of the way, or just need a smaller bag for whatever reason. But one thing that I am not entirely sure about is it has a really large filter here. And actually, I have another one. They also sent me a clear bag, so you can see on this one that there is this really large filter that goes all the way around. And so at this point, I'm still going to be interested to see how it works. I am a little nervous about things getting caught in that and causing issues that way. It also doesn't keep it quite as flat. It's a little harder when you're trying to kind of push things out, that it gets in the way a little bit, but that may be something that grows on me. So I'll have to update and let you know how the filter ends up going, and if it's something that I am actually going to end up liking. The one difference is with the clear bags, it does not have that extra hold up piece that you can hold it up here, but it has the same one down here for some people who prefer a transparent bag. I am not one of those people. But so yeah, as you can see, it's fairly similar in a lot of ways, but also has a lot of different features and upgrades. You probably can't see, it's got a really thinner kind of plate here that sticks onto you. I am having a little pulling at the edges, but that may not be the bag's fault. I mentioned before that I have an issue with one pieces in the first place, so it could be something with that. And also I was dealing with a lot of skin irritation around here last night when I was putting this on. So it's very likely that I did not do as good of a job putting the bag on in order to do that. But it's nice, it feels really good on the skin. I will definitely update once I take it off if it's the same kind of feeling once you take it off and all of that. But so far so good. I'm liking it. You can see it stays really pretty close to the body when I tuck it in. It doesn't really stick out too much. And all in all, I really like it. We're going to kind of see how it goes and maybe try a couple more. I will definitely be looking forward for them getting the Flex one out and seeing if that might be an even better option. And I might even go ahead and request a 2 snap piece just to see if that one works as well too. But I would definitely recommend, if you are a Coloplast user or not, that this might be something to at least get some samples from. They will happily send you a couple samples of a 1-piece or a 2-piece if you want it, and might be at least worth trying out to see if it's something that works well for you. Or if you have something that you absolutely love, then maybe you're good with that. I think it will definitely be a bit of a transition, even just going from this one bag to another, because it feels a little different. I was very aware that it was there last night and wasn't quite sure what to do with it. But I will be looking forward to kind of seeing if this might be a good new option. I'm excited to see that there's some new stuff coming out. And I actually also just got in the new Convatec one, which theirs actually has a moldable barrier. So in the coming weeks, I will be trying this one as well, and I'll be sure to update you on what I find from it. But I'm really excited to see these new products coming out, and the fact that they're making better equipment for ostomies, and hopefully this will mean that for those of us who are living with this, to have some better options to keep us to keep everything how it should be. So yeah, if you have been trying out some of these new bags, I'd love to hear what you think. If you have any different opinions or agree with some of the things I said, I'd love to hear from it and just kind of see what everybody else thinks. Like I said, if not, I'd encourage you to give it a try and see if it's something that you like.